Number. All right, now the next one is one that you probably haven't heard of too much until now. It's called an irrational number. Irrational number. Now, what do you think of when you hear the word irrational? Irrational number. What do you think of? When I think somebody's irrational, I think that they're a little bit crazy, they're not really with us, they're really doing their own thing, they're kind of unpredictable. That's what irrational means, something that doesn't quite behave right. That's what irrational really is. So irrational numbers are numbers that really don't quite behave right. That's exactly what they are. So let's write the definition. They're numbers that cannot be written as a fraction. They cannot be written as a fraction. And let me go and write one thing in parentheses here. We'll change color to make it clear. And these are going to basically be non-repeating infinite decimals. All right, so some examples of an irrational number. It's better to sort of just show you by example what they are. Some examples of irrational numbers. They're very simple. They're things like pi. Because pi is equal to 3.14159, blah, 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 and it goes on and on forever. And these digits that come after pi, if you got a computer and you actually looked at the digits of pi out to 1,000 decimal places or 1,000,000 decimal places, you would find that these digits never repeat. They never follow any pattern. It's not like, you know, it'll say 15459, 15459, 15459. No, pi doesn't behave like that. It's a very special number. If you look at all the digits, they never actually ever repeat, ever. And believe me, people have been trying to calculate pi out to 1,000,000,000 decimal places to see if it ever does repeat, and it never does. So we say pi is irrational because it kind of goes on and on like this. There's no pattern to it. It's not repeatable, and you cannot write pi as a fraction. Some of you guys may think that, or may have heard, that you can write pi as a fraction. I think it's 22/7. That's not really true. That's an approximation. The number pi cannot be written as a fraction, and that's why it is irrational. Another number that just an example number that you cannot write as a fraction is the square root of 2. If you take the square root of 2, and we're going to talk a lot about these things a little bit later too, if you take the square root of 2, that's going to be something like 1.4142 ... If you don't quite know exactly what square roots are yet, we're going to get to this a little bit later, but this is a number. You can put it in your calculator and you press the square root button and you're going to see a bunch of digits that go here, and if you calculate those digits on and on and on forever, you'll see there's no pattern, there's no repetition, and you definitely cannot write this as a fraction. The only way to get this number is by this. So you can see that my list is pretty short. There's lots of other irrational numbers, but they're not things that really we deal with every day. We see pi all the time, and that's why I put it first, because that's the one you actually know about. That's the one irrational number that most people have ever actually seen before. That's why they're called irrational, because you cannot write them as a fraction. They're non-repeating infinite decimals, and that's what we have.